Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. As you can see, this is going to be a very scuffed deck profile because I don't have my tripod, so we're just going to make do. But yeah, before I get started, I want to thank Sundar, my Simway number supporter, and remind you to check the links in the description for my Discord and all that sort of stuff, and check out my other Gate Ruler stuff card up there. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. This is my red-blue night deck. So, starting out with the legends here, I think these are kind of the only real options in set 1. As nice as it would be to play the others, the problem with Captain OMG is he does absolutely nothing when you actually hard play him, and it's not like we have a good way to recycle him either, so you can at least try and get him as a counter. So, you know, about half the time he's just going to be dead when you do see him. And Kinomiya Koga, whilst amazing, it is very, very difficult to justify the 3 cost to play that. And it's not like you really have the counters that make it worth playing him. So that kind of rules out red, which by default means that our legends will be these two. Captain Liberty is, of course, absolutely incredible. This card is just ridiculous. It's, you know, the games where you see him, you're going to play him 2 to 3 times at bare minimum, just for free again and again and again. It's going to buy you so much time. It's going to let you make use of your more expensive events or play more aggressive boards. Very, very good. Win-win is fine. Like, it's a good card. It's a card good enough to play, but it's like, if you're keeping up to date with the card reveals, he's pretty much being power crept in. Like, it's a slightly better version of the one we're getting in set 3 because it draws, but the trade-off is it takes up a legend spot, which is absolutely not worth it. But for now, it's fine. Also, apologies for any background noise you may hear. It's like 30 degrees in the UK, or I don't know, that's like 90 degrees Fahrenheit or something stupid. So yeah, it's hot. Okay, so let's talk about the units. So I'm playing 4 copies of Victor. I love this card. It's so good. It's essentially like he's 7 attack, but like better, by doing that burn. I don't play the buff, the Guns and Gold Armory here, but it would interact with that. But yeah, honestly, you know, being able to basically have 7 attack makes this card really relevant. It means it's going to be able to break through anything in the game at the moment, and through a lot of stuff, even with a HP buff. The fact you can split the damage means you can snipe out something and then kill something else, or snipe out the center and then actually do 2 damage to the opponent. So this card is absolutely amazing. Same deal on Rampart Elephant. You only really need him for that 1 turn when he does have Defender and plus 2 HP, because your opponent is usually going to clear it, but if they don't clear it, or, you know, if they have an Albavolt or something, he's still very, very useful. You know, a 4-3-2 is hardly bad stats. It's going to be pretty annoying for your opponent, and of course, you know, 4-5-2, that 1 turn, you can choose when to play him. Ideally when your opponent doesn't have some sort of interaction that is just going to make him useless, and he's just very annoying to get through. 5 HP is that really nice, like a barrier HP, well, not barrier, but like that really nice HP sort of level where they get annoying to deal with. 4 copies of Panzer Marines, this is like obvious. You need your on-tapper, it's essential. And 4 copies of Army Magus Jake. So this is a level 0 vanilla, and you might be curious why I'm playing this, but honestly, like, you cannot sleep on the power of just pure stats in set 1 format. It's really, really, really good. I would highly recommend you guys try out this card. Like 4-3-1, like 4 attack is really good. That's going to clear a huge amount of stuff in the game. 4 plus like whatever the hell else you have, like even if you're swinging with like a 1 or 2 thing, that's 6 HP. That's pretty much everything in the game. 3 HP means it's not going to get sniped off by little weenies, and it's going to be a little annoying for your opponent if they're trying to allocate damage, because it can make things a bit awkward. And yeah, he's just really, really solid clearing power. The final unit is Arumasaki. So this is here because when it's on the board, so you don't want to just play it like the second you get it. You want to play it with some sort of backup, because once you have that backup, it gets so annoying, because this is just basically going to your opponent, you're not dealing damage to me, you have to deal with this. And if you've got a couple of bits of interaction to like make it difficult for them to remove this, they're gonna absolutely hate you. Like, this card is gonna hang around for that turn, you're gonna get a value out of it. You can also use it to dispose of useless events, to do some board clearing, but yeah, really just a very annoying card that your opponent has to target, and if you can keep it alive, it's going to buy you time, it's going to let you set up a much more threatening board. Just very, very good. And next we have the events. So for Rite of Redirection, this is just the best reducer zero in the game because you can use it on absolutely anything. The main thing is just making sure you play with it in mind and you always have that one energy available to use it like when you need to. And yeah, just very, very, very important card. 4 copies of Desperate Resistance. This is going to give you plus 3 HP to one of your things. This is really good. Your opponent's usually not going to like be able to deal with that. They're not going to attack over enough to just deal with this, so it's going to like force 2 attacks essentially. So in some sense it's like it's a reduced damage, next damage by 2 and save your thing. You know, it's just really, really, really annoying. Like it's a very, very good card and it comes in clutch a huge amount of time. Similarly useful is Just a Flesh Wound. This is particularly useful against like Zap 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 if they just put all 6 on Arumasaki or something. This is just going to reduce that to 0, make it really, really annoying. Just a generically like very, very powerful card, and I got to assume a Monty Python reference. Yeah, very, very important. And finally we have the counters. So for Supernatural Citizens Act, this is going to give you the longevity you need, and you can just dispose of extra copies with Arumasaki. It's kind of a feels bad card to draw, to be honest, but if you've got a Liberty in drop, you can make it work, being able to actually use it. But really you're playing it because you're more likely to counter check it than draw it, and counter checking it is a big old W. For Alice, this card is just goated. You know, your opponent's never going to play around it for some reason. Like, people just forget that Alice is a thing, and they're going to only really keep track of your board, and then, like, they'll just go, oh, shit, you just Aliced me. It's also possible to do some really annoying things, where if you call an Alice on a ruler attack, and then you go, okay, and now I'm going to flip out my Desperate Resistance, now it's 6 HP, suddenly your opponent can just be completely screwed. It does cost you 2 cards, but it's pretty worth it to just take 0 damage at a turn. Yeah, this card is really, really good at just keeping you alive. 2 copies of Rite of Grand Ablution. I'm surprised more people aren't playing this. It's really difficult to fit in more than 2. Potentially you could swap out a Citizens Act for a 3rd one. Basically you're playing this to go fuck you to Zap Zap Zap, because it's going to give your whole board plus 2 HP, which is really, really good. I would say there's a good argument to just go 3/3 on those. But yeah, this card is super, super nice. Less good as a counter, but yeah, when you're able to just make a zap do absolutely nothing, it feels so good. 2 Buster Kong, you know, counters amazing. Breakthrough, TDs is really good. Good stats. The only problem is it's level 3. Yeah, very, very strong card. And finally, 4 copies of The Owl, the Bigwig. This is like the best counter in Knight, to be honest, in set 1. Just draw a card, it's really, really good. Kind of generically useful, like every time you see that counter, you're going to be like, oh, nice. Yeah, it's just a good counter. The problem... so I guess we'll just a wider discussion on the deck. Like, this is my favourite deck in set 1. And I think it's good. It's just very difficult to keep up with Red Pink Apprentice because every single one of their counters do something ridiculous, like disruption-wise or setting them up for the next turn. So it's just it's very difficult to keep up when your counters, you know, are realistically doing nothing, drawing you a card, good for healing, and then doing something. So like a majority of your counters kind of do nothing to disrupt. They're more utility-based counters. But that being said, you're going to be way more consistent in your game plan than they are. And as long as you play smart, it is very, very possible to beat those decks. And this is very strong against a lot of other matchups as well. So yeah, I think it's a really, really solid deck. Not something you're going to be playing perfectly immediately, but yeah, super fun, highly recommended. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe to the channel for more Gate Ruler content. I'm aware this is very late into set 1, but you know, life happened. Expect way more stuff at the start of set 2, which is in a few weeks. My product looks like it's being a bit delayed again, but you know, here's what it is. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling. Links in the description, like, subscribe, and I will comment your thoughts on the deck profile, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.